Bloop. Coach Catfish here. Early in the morning. It is cold. It is cold. And I got the cobra thing on. It's a baby cobra. It's a little one because he only strike. He struck the dragon. No, with the snake and the dragon is somewhat synonymous with various things they do. Except the snake has to do with healing, and the dragon has to do with killing. And I'm not sure about any of that because healing and killing is a very profitable infrastructure that we seem to be working on quite seriously. Anyway, well, Coach Catfish had talked to you today because I'm geeking and I'm seeking, and I may have to be sneaking. I look like one of them people. Anyway, the Tower of Who? Who? The owl. The predatory bird that hunts at night in the shadows. In the shadows. There's a song here back a while Coach Catfish did not understand, and there's a TV show associated with it. And I don't keep up with that stuff. These people's crazy. I got a life to live. I got hungriness to fill. Anyway, the Tower of Who? Who? Where does this start? It starts in Whoville. Whoville? Come on here, brother. Take you a pill. Cause who? The Tower of the Blabble is in Whoville. It starts in Whoville. Now, you know, Coach Catfish grew up with this here Dr. Seuss. The Dr. Seuss, which is a very different world from one we live in, because we usually sue a doctor. But this here came out of the pogroms of the Dr. Seuss. And I'm not sure about all that, but at least we won something. You know, at least we get a little bit of something back until now. The Tower of the Hour. It has got some power, and that's what we're dealing with. So, what Coach Catfish here to say is, when something bad is going on, make something else in the background. So, in other words, when something else is bad's going on, then you could be doing something in the background. And what they've been doing for a long time is building the Tower of the Hour. Cause, well, I don't know what cause what, but what Coach Catfish understands is I've been seeking and geeking, and sometimes seeking the old path. Now, folks say, them Bible stories, them biblical stories, is just the metaphors for bears, and certainly metaphors. And I told you I've met a number of them, and they're very good people. But what this has to do with is what you see. Now, Coach Catfish has been telling you for a long time that your past is in front of you. Your past is what you see. Your past is your history. Fifth snack. Unless you understand to live through your history, then you'll never have a future and make any progress. Because you're going to be stuck in one of them ones and zeros computational loops. Oops, I'm stuck in a loops. And somebody told me about it, and yet I just went ahead and went along. So when something bad is going on, assume there's something worse is happening in the background. That's how it works. Once you convince everybody, just hop off into the future. It's the same thing as hopping off of a cliff. Like high cliff. You know, Cliff be Biff. And all that kind of good stuff. I like to have, I don't know if he'd drink a beer with me, but I'd like to have a beer with the Cliff High. Just pick his nose, his brain a little bit. Anyway, I didn't mean to go there. But it's the Tower of the Hour. In Whoville. Who's building the tower? Well, what Coach Catfish understood is what I've been saying all along, the H1. The H1 was made from the earth. So we got to sort of go back to the earth and not have this other mirth in between us. Because once you got something in between you and your origins, then you got something between you and your origin. Now, you see, when you take a battery, like an old-fashioned battery, and you put this here stuff here, and you put this here stuff there, and you put it a semi-impermeable layer in between them, they will react, and they will constantly bleed off voltage, and chemical reactions will happen. Well, hell, that's what it is when you got a layer in between you and your origin, and your existence, and what you're made out of. You're what you eat. Well, my cat, well, that's another story altogether. I don't eat the cat. I pet the cat. Coach Catfish making a non-tendre joke. Anyway, the Who'sville. Now, while we sit back here fighting amongst ourselves, other people are making binding resolutions and laws. Now, Coach Catfish had a life. I studied the physics and the math and all the stuff with electronics, and I was looking forward to something. And then I finally realized the imprisonment of looking forward to something that is existential in nature. Our history is not existential. It is in front of us. Look at your history and realize what you're signing up for. We're at a time when if there is no God, there will not be an H1. Coach Catfish is very convinced of that. See, what you don't understand, I said to a large-scale scientific person that I had dismissed a creator by the time I was 15. I did not see the need for anything other than the natural processes of how the hell this shit got here to begin with to happen and progress us along to where I was a young man with some hair on my boo, and I was out in the bayou and going to university and thinking life is, well, it was pretty rough stuff, but it was good. Then I grew up and realized, hail, hail, hail. Gotta say it 3 times, because death is permanent for some, maybe not so much for others. But what we have is we have a tower. The book had told us why the tower's bad. Now, Coach Catfish, when I preaching and stuff, I'd be talking to people about the Tower of Babel. It's like, God, y'all say, oh no, there's nothing can be hold back from them. And my answer when I would do metaphor and try to teach people would say, it's like God standing there and fire ants crawl up his leg, and he's trying to swat them suckers off, and he had to finally flush them with some water. Flush them with moving their language. Flush them with calamity. Flush them with which was whatever. Because the man, in his natural state, is genius. He's a creature that understands his environment inherently. But when we take ourselves away from the environment and stick something in, whether it is this or that or the other, then we prostitute the gift of humanity. That sucker, he just wants to climb out. I told you it's a baby snake. He's wanting to climb out and meet the other ones. But the tower of the hour, it's done built, sucker. It's done built. And the hour is never happy when that kind of stuff goes on. And I'm looking for dispersal, and it's actually happening right now. So, you depend on your AI, cause ones and zeros is the only true universal language, short of the mathematics itself, but the ones and zeros is what has coupled us together. Coach Catfish is not a fool. That's why I hooked in on languages, and especially languages that were not linear. Non-linear languages. It's where it's at, because that's the way the human being thinks. We think this is in pictures, and that's part of what we should do, to linearize our thinking process and the way we deal with reality. It's a sin. It's a horrible thing. And that's what who is climbing a tower, because they got an hour, and they only have an hour. So I guess we got some hope. Anyway, like Coach Catfish say, I discounted God. I discounted him. But I kept seeing something happening in my life. Something happening that kept me alive. Kept me going. Kept me, from being, at least having one of the 6s. That's what it was. So, my conclusion is, what I'm trying to say, is if there is no Yah, the benevolent one that I understand for the and I see nothing for humanity except death, destruction, and boop, boop. Well, you won't even have no bulls, because they're going to get rid of the cows. You can't even have the bullshit. So what are we going to have? We're going to have corn cob shit, because, they want to put us on. No, cricket poo, that's what it will be. It will, in the new language, they'll say, instead of boo, 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 they'll have cricket, boo, 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 or giant graveyard grasshopper shit. Coach Catfish grew up with the graveyard grasshoppers. Them suckers are huge. Anyway, they look like they would eat someone. But the whole point of this, that I've been trying to say, we done built a tower. Who'sville is in trouble. The Who's are being invaded, as the doctors that sues wrote in that documentation back in the day. The Who's bill is in trouble. So who are you today? Who do you serve? Who are you going to follow? Coach Catfish follow y'all. Cause all the rest of this stuff here is boo-poo-poo. And I can say that because around here we got cows everywhere. Anyway, Coach Catfish out of here. I don't know what to say. I'm a stakeholder, not a snakeholder. And, you know, I'll probably mount the lizard on the stake, so he will be a happy lizard once he gets his wig and various and other sundry accoutrements in. I think there's an Amazon to be sending it soon. Coach Catfish out of here. I got to go work. It's getting cool, and my tomatoes, you know, they're suffering. Cause we got some slices out there. We got some little knot ones, and you know the kind you make the salads, but we got some slices. Now we'll get some bread and have us some turkey jerky sandwiches with them slices. Anyway, Coach Catfish out of here. I don't want to scream. Don't want to shout. It's 11:11. Where's it turn it off?